Hey everyone, this is Bob Kovacs here at Wirefly with another one of Wirefly's cell phone Schmackdowns. Okay, on the left we have the latest high performance contender. This is the T-Mobile G2x. It's made by LG and it's sleek, attractive, and powerful. I gotta tell you, this is truly a very excellent phone. So this is the T-Mobile G2x, and it runs a very simple, very plain, out-of-the-box version of Android 2.2. So this runs Android 2.2. On the right we have, well, I almost hate to say it, this is the industry standard. This is the Apple iPhone 4, and this is the Verizon version of the iPhone 4. Now, this particular iPhone is not activated, so I have it running on the Wi-Fi here at the Wirefly building. The T-Mobile G2x is activated. However, the speeds I get on T-Mobile here in our building is just not that great, so I have it on Wi-Fi as well. So we're going to do a little Schmackdown. Now, some people are going to say, hey, the T-Mobile G2x, this is a brand new phone with all the latest Android technology in it. The iPhone, heck, this came out 10 months ago. This is getting a little long in the tooth. Is that really fair? Hey, fair schmare, who cares? This is a Schmackdown. So, Schmackdown away we're going to do. Okay, now, both of these are actually pretty darn good phones. There's many, many good things that can be said for the iPhone. One of the most interesting things, and one of the things that iPhone fans will point out over and over again, is that yes, the iPhone has a 3.5-inch display. However, the resolution of the iPhone display is an amazing 640 by 960 pixels. 640 by 960. There are some 7-inch tablets out there that don't have that much resolution. In fact, there's more than one. There's several tablets, 7-inch tablets. That resolution is really an amazing resolution. That makes the iPhone very, very clear. If your eyes focus, you can hold the iPhone really close to your face, and the image is truly very impressive. Apple, of course, refers to that as a retina display. You know, it makes a nice little buzz phrase. The T-Mobile G2x is a 4-inch display. So compare these two displays. I mean, the T-Mobile display, this G2x, is much, much bigger. However, the resolution on the T-Mobile G2x is 480 by 800. So although the display is bigger, and for me, I like the bigger display. In fact, for me, a 4-inch display is kind of the sweet spot. And since I'm the one who's running the Schmackdown, I get to say that. So I like the size of this display. I just wish it had some of this resolution. Now, some Android phones are coming out now with 540 by 960, and that really is very nice. Still not as high a resolution as the Apple iPhone, but that would be wonderful to have that here on the G2x, and it doesn't have it. So the iPhone 4 wins the resolution rumble, but the T-Mobile G2x wins the size. I like that size. It's a sweet size. Okay, so we have Android versus the iPhone. The iPhone, this particular iPhone, is running the Apple I operating system, the iOS 4.2.6. This is running Android 2.2. Okay, what can be said about these things? As you all know, the Apple iPhone is intended to be all one product. Apple will tell you that the hardware and the software are integrated to make this one product. And here's what happens when you do that. Okay, you go into Mail, and look at these little animations that the phone has when it expands up into Mail. Let's say I open up this message and I want to delete it. I come down and I push the delete key, and you get that little animation of it being sucked down into the trash can down there. And here's another one. If I want to delete it, in case you didn't get it the first time, it goes zzz. I got to tell you, when Apple iPhone fans see that stuff, it just makes them tingle. And I don't know if I want to be around Apple iPhone fans when they're tingling, if you know what I mean. So, you know, I can understand why people look at that and they say, they get the impression that this is just an absolutely complete project. I don't know that I've got this set up to do email, but basically when you delete an email on any Android phone, you simply just either drag it to a trash can, or you go down and you press a button, a radio button, and then you hit delete, and it's just, you simply delete it. So, this just makes it go away. This gives you a little pleasure when it goes zip down in there like that. So, there's much that can be said for the Apple iPhone and the way that it's conceived as a completely finished product. Now, on the other hand, the Google Android operating system is much more expandable and easier to make changes to than the Apple iPhone. Now, the iPhone gives you a total of 3 screens. This is your search screen, this is your main screen, and then to the right you have additional space that you can load icons. That's all you get. Now with the Android phone here, you get widgets. There I've got a stock widget, stock and news, and I've got other widgets here that allow me quick access to stuff. I've got a Google widget, so I can very quickly do Google searching. You don't get that widget capability on the iPhone. You get icons. You can put a news icon on the page. You got a weather icon, but there isn't a widget where you can get additional information. So I actually have a sentence here that gives me information on the news, as well as the temperature and the fact that it's cloudy outside. So there are more capabilities, there's more things built into Android that are easier for you to customize than there are for the iPhone. Now, both of these have about the same number of apps available in their various app stores. Generally speaking, and this is very general, that Android apps are lower cost than iPhone apps. There are more free Android apps than there are free iPhone apps. But, both of them come with a good complement of apps to do the basic sorts of things that you want to do. So I think that's kind of roughly about even. The T-Mobile G2x is a 4G phone. It can get 4G service from T-Mobile's HSPA Plus network, and it can get theoretically speeds as high as 14.4 megabits per second. I don't think anybody's actually getting speeds like that, but you can get speeds of 5 to 8 megabits per second on this phone. I've personally got speeds around 4.5 to 5 megabits per second download speed on the G2x. On the Apple iPhone, now this is a Verizon phone. It runs on Verizon's CDMA network. The fastest you're ever going to get on Verizon's CDMA network is about 2.5 megabits. I think I might have gotten a little bit better than 2.5 once, but generally speaking, you're going to get 1 to 2 megabits download speeds on the Apple iPhone on Verizon. On the AT&T version of the iPhone, you might get a little bit more, but it is not an HSPA Plus on AT&T. Typical speeds might be actually around 2 to 3 megabits, maybe a little more than 3. So I think the rumble there is won by the G2x, which has the ability to get faster download speeds. Both these phones have very competent cameras. You get to the camera on the G2x right there, and you can take a picture of the iPhone 4 in your G2x. There you can see it. Sorry for all the light reflection there. There's the Apple iPhone. I'm going to go back to the main page, and the iPhone's camera is equally easy to use. There you can see the G2x on the Apple iPhone's screen. I have used both these cameras a fair amount, especially with the Apple iPhone. I took it to the zoo one day and got a lot of shots at the zoo. And I give the camera nod here to the iPhone. The iPhone is a 5 megapixel camera. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is an 8 megapixel camera. So you could probably blow up the pictures that you take on the G2x a little bit bigger. But I found that the pictures I've taken on the Apple iPhone 4 are maybe a little cleaner, a little lower noise. It also takes very good video. In fact, I was quite impressed with some of the pictures I took on the iPhone around the zoo. One other point of comparison, and it probably will be the last point that I'll discuss in this Schmackdown, is the, of course, famous inability of the Apple iPhone to be able to show Adobe Flash content. Now, iPhone fans will often tell you that, Adobe Flash is only used for advertising, and they're glad that they don't see the advertising, but it really is used for more than just advertising. Here I've gone to the Wirefly site, and I want to go to Wirefly Learn on both of these phones. So I'll get to Wirefly Learn. Here's Wirefly Learn, and if you take a look here on this page, there's videos associated with some of the things that I've posted to this page. Well, I'm going to go into this review. It's a review of the HTC Droid Incredible 2, and let's get it loaded up here on the iPhone. There we go. And as you can tell, looking at these two, here on the T-Mobile G2X, I actually have a little window with the video in it, and on the iPhone, I have a window with nothing in it. So here on the G2X, all I need to do is touch that window, and it'll actually play the video. I don't know if you can hear it, but there it is.
Hello everyone, this is Kovacs.
And it's a little hard to hear, but it's playing. Of course, you can make it bigger, you can rotate it around. There you go. So, Adobe Flash is more than just advertising. It is actual video content that people embed onto their websites. And you can't get that content on the Apple iPhone. There's a lot of that content out there. So, okay, I wanted to keep this a short Schmackdown. Don't get me wrong. The Apple iPhone is a very good product. I can understand why some people are absolutely ecstatic over their Apple iPhones. The iPhone 4 is a wonderful product. It's getting a little old now. There's a lot of discussion on the internet about the successor to the iPhone 4, but for the moment, when you want an iPhone, this is probably the one you're going to get. On the other hand, there are Android phones coming out every couple of weeks. The T-Mobile G2X came out last week, and it's currently right at the top of the hill among Android phones. It is very powerful. It's very smooth. It does animations very easily. It has a good quality camera. It can take HD video. Both of these can take HD video. Both of these are very good phones. Which phone would I like to carry? I gotta be honest with you. I could carry either of these phones. They probably work just fine for me. However, I have come to learn to like the more flexibility that I get with Android. I like having widgets. I like having the ability to watch Flash content. I like the fact that this has expandable memory. I can stick a micro SD memory card if I want more memory. This is a 16 gig iPhone, and the memory is not expandable. You get 16 gigs, and that's all you're going to get. Here you can stick in a micro SD card up to 32 gigs if you want to expand the memory. So I think the winner here is the G2X. The iPhone's a very nice product. I wish the G2X had that resolution. It doesn't. If it did, then the G2X would be absolutely all over the iPhone. But, hey, this is Bob Kovacs here at Wirefly with another Wirefly cell phone Schmackdown. Thanks for watching.